What is up, guys? Dr.Pep here, and welcome to a relatively quick tutorial that I plan on doing. And this is kind of like the best OBS settings for very low spec PCs that kind of want, well, not very low. I mean, decently low spec PCs that can't run the best games and stuff like that. Like I stream and I do RuneScape, Roblox, and a bunch of N64 games just for the hell of it. And I'm going to be kind of teaching you guys like what my settings, or not teaching you guys, but showing you guys my settings. And this is really trippy, but um, I'll be showing you guys my settings, and then hopefully you guys can stream and that kind of stuff. I'll leave my stream down in the description down below. I usually stream daily, at least an hour or two every day. So I'll leave that down in the description down below if you guys want to go check out my stream whenever I'm streaming, follow whatever. We have this kind of thing where me and my friend Kat, we stream a bunch, and we have this thing we need donations for orange juice money because orange juice money is the best. Oh, and by the way, I plan on getting a new mic soon. So first thing, I kind of have my this is just a little thing. I usually have my in-game around 20% volume, and then my mic all the way because your mic should be the most important thing. Even though my mic's staticky, I still think your mic should be the most important thing. Next up, we're just going to go to general, cursor over projection. You can turn that on and off. None of this really matters unless if you speak a different language, go ahead, change that. Encoding. Here we get to the stuff so far. Right, so I have times 264, not quick sync or anything. I use CBR, enabled CBR padding. Okay, and quality balance 8. Max bitrate is 1200. Now I know this is pretty low for a lot of different internets, but as you can see down here in the bottom right, I usually run around 1200, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. And yeah, so that's a thing, right? Bitrate, stereo, audio encoding. I don't think I messed with that. And so here's like your stream key and that kind of stuff, where you're streaming to. You can stream to YouTube and that kind of stuff, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. My stream keys here. Auto reconnect 10 seconds, and I also save the stream file because I have it recorded and that kind of stuff. So that's a thing that I just recently set up. I set up the recordings and that kind of stuff too. Replay buffer length 1 second, simple stuff. So what I did is I set the custom base. This is important. This is very important. Custom to 1280 by 720. Now, since I have a low spec PC, I put it down by 1.5, so it's playing at 480. I know it's not the best quality, but it's something. Filters bilinear, and I do not run at perfect 30 frames per second. I run at 25 frames per second. It just kind of brings down that it brings down CPU usage and that kind of stuff. And it's worked for me. It still looks smooth enough. This isn't for the most professional. You would up this up if you get a better PC or something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm using a laptop, and it's not even that great of one in general. And so I have my mic set up defaultly. None of this really matters. You can set hotkeys if you want. I personally don't. I've never really seen a use. Now we'll go to the advanced. Use multi-thread optimization, priority class, normal, high. You should set it to high, but I do that by myself. Scene buffering, milliseconds, disable encoding while previewing. I have this checked to allow other modifiers on hotkeys, not really fast. Now, I do have this set to ultra fast instead of super fast. Now, a lot of people say super fast. I put it on ultra fast because I want to make sure that it's doing its thing, and have the encoding profile set to high. We'll get to this a little later, the process priority class. UCFR, nothing here, and then the rest I think is default. I don't think I changed anything. Quick scene encoder, the browser, microphone noise gate, and scene switcher, which are all just kind of things you don't really need to look at. Oh, that's for my controller. All right. So you can see my voice. You can fix your noise gate and that kind of stuff, but that's up to you. So that's it, really. That's for the OBS settings itself. Now I'm gonna want to show you guys something here. Hopefully I can show you guys. Okay, the preview's a little fucked, but we'll fix that. So let's say I wanted to stream the. So, okay, so this is popping up, which is not good. But let's say I wanted to stream some N64 games, right? So we'll pull this up, and then I'll show you guys. We'll see how my frames are already dropping because it's opening up. I'll show you guys something in just a second, and it's also doing a monitor capture, which I never do, by the way. I always do window captures. But as you can see, my frames are dropping because it's taking up high CPU. Now we'll fix this in just a second, but and I don't know if this is gonna break my recording or not. But what you're gonna want to do, and hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully this goes away because they really want us to support it. And I have a shit ton of these, so I'm glad it didn't horribly lag when that happened. I think that's still up. I don't want that minimized. Okay, there we go. So let's say I wanted to record fucking, I don't know. Let's do NBA Jam. That lit game. We'll open it up. Now you guys will notice that it starts to lag a little bit, like frames and stuff like that. And so what I usually do to counter this is if if I'm doing a solo stream, right? Um, you press Control Shift Escape to bring up Task Manager, right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Details, okay? And I know a lot of people don't really mention this, but you want to set priority of OBS to high. Since I'm solo streaming, I'm also gonna set whatever I'm running to high, okay? So I have both of those set to high, and so now this will run completely fine, and this will run completely fine, how it's supposed to, you know. Now, if you're doing Skype or Discord, I hate Discord. Discord has just never really been a good thing on my side, and this is not opening, which is kind of depressing. But sometimes when you first open up a game, it takes a little while, and it's also glitching out up here. I think it doesn't know what to do because I don't have my controller plugged in. But anyways, you're just gonna set those both to high. There we go. Finally. Sometimes it takes a while. And of course, when it first opens, it's gonna take a little while. But as you can see, the game's running 60 frames. If it's a bad ROM, it might not. But anyways, moving past that, right? Um, the game itself and that should be at high. Now, if you're running something that doesn't, necessarily do as much, you could put it to above normal. But let's say you're using Skype or Discord or something like that. I recommend using Skype. It's always worked for me personally. I know if you're meeting new people and that kind of stuff, and you don't necessarily trust them, then then that could be a little iffy. But you're gonna want to set it to below normal. See, with Skype, it doesn't really change much. The connection isn't as great necessarily, but you can still hear them fine. They can still hear you fine, as long as your internet can hold up. But let's say if you don't do that, then everything will start lagging because you have Skype open and it's trying to focus on Skype and make sure everything's running okay. If you set it below normal, it'll have some little bugs here and there, you know. But in general, like these are the settings that I use. And another tip of advice, if you do have a low spec PC, don't try to be running something that's going to take up most of your CPU. Like, you can run it, but it takes up most of your CPU and that kind of stuff, and then try to stream, because that won't work. It just won't, you know? Like, let's say you can run, I don't fucking know, what's a game that people could run that takes a lot of CPU? I don't know, like CSGO, right? I could barely play CSGO, but I could play it. I cannot stream CSGO because I could barely run it. You need to do something that's more in that lane of something that you can do. See, like, I could play N64 games perfectly fine, 60 frames a second, all good. Down here, unless it's like European, I think they have it set it to 50 frames. Something like that. I could do Roblox and that kind of stuff, and you want to adjust your settings to kind of fit your requirements. I always recommend setting them to the lowest settings. I know it's not going to look the best, it's not going to look perfect, but it should get you a start. You know, I think I did it. I've streamed for like a month or something, like not consistently. I think it was two-week breaks on both, and I have almost 40 followers now, and so it's worked for me. People can still sit there and enjoy your game and enjoy watching you and that kind of stuff. You just gotta do your own things. Now, I will also show you. Well, I can't. I don't think I could show you, but I normally have. We'll close this out. I normally have the chat in the stream, and if you guys want a tutorial how to put a transparent chat in your stream, I will show you that. I did spend like a day figuring it out because a lot of different things that people kept showing did not work. And I have chat. I have an image for to go right under the chat. It's just a little stupid thing that I have. And then I have the gameplay and I have a face cam. And it runs perfectly following these tips. If you guys have any problems or anything, let me know down in the comments down below. If it's just not working or if there's some issues, like, yeah, that's all I could say. But I will leave my Twitch chat down in the description down below. And please follow if you want to. I mean, you don't have to, but, you know, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, sorry that I was rambling on a little bit for the end. My train of thought, I didn't do the scripted. I just, like, I was sitting here one day. I was sitting here. I was like, I should make a YouTube video because I don't make YouTube videos on that much anymore. And so, yeah. Um, Thank you all for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like. I really don't have much to say. I can do tutorials on how to get the transparent Twitch chat. And I can also just show you guys how to get past broadcasts and that kind of stuff. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like. Please go to my Twitch channel if you want to see me stream. I always take requests and that kind of stuff. Like if you want me to play a certain N64 game or if you want me to try to stream, I don't know, something that's relatively easy to stream, I will try to do so to the best of my ability. But yeah, thank you all for watching and have a nice day. Oh wait, I should have put a face cam on. Fuck. Alright, whatever.